Hi, this is a compilation of the Ishanekon World Shapers Archetype shorts, and a great place if you want a quick overview of all the archetypes. Have fun!
The Bulwark archetype is all about defense and being right in the middle of combat. It is noticeable for being the only archetype that starts with heavy armor proficiency, and its archetype feature, Bulwark's Defense, gives it a simple but effective boost to either armor or evasion. Its sub-archetypes tend to be either directly defensive, like the Juggernaut or the Blocker, good at protecting others, like the Protector or Guardian, or benefit from being right in the middle of the enemy, like the Retaliator or the Paragon. The creative archetype is all about charisma and using the creativity to adapt to many situations. They're generally a jack of all trades, and are good at inspiring their allies and discourage their enemies. Their archetype feature leans into their creative nature by allowing them to learn abilities from every archetype and boost the total number of abilities that they can learn. Its sub-archetypes tend to be flexible, like the Artist or the Multi-Talent, inspire their allies, like the Inspirer or the Embolder, or demoralize their enemies, like the Tormentor or the Demoralizer. The Cunning archetype is all about skills and fighting smart instead of hard. They are not afraid to fight dirty and use every trick in the book to assure victory. Their Cunning skill feature, in combination with their skill points, makes them the best skill users in the entire game. The archetypes tend to rely on speed and mobility, like the Scout and the Swashbuckler, use stealth, like the Shadow or the Agent, target weak spots, like the Sniper or the Rogue, or focus on their skills, like the Expert or the Specialist. The Demolition archetype is all about hitting as many enemies as possible. This does not just include damage, it also has many sub-archetypes that focus on control and support. Its feature, Bigger Demolition, increases the area of effect of all their abilities and increases the effectiveness of area of effect weapons. Their sub-archetypes either increase the effectiveness of area of effect strategies, like the Destroyer with damage, the Grenadier with area of effect weapons, or the Chemist with area of effect control, or turn single target strategies into multi-target ones, like the Whirlwind with melee weapons, the Blast Gunner with ranged weapons, and the Bombardier with single target abilities. The Mental archetype uses their mind to solve their problems instead of their body. It represents mages, mad scientists, psionics, and others that use either their intelligence, instinct, charisma, or devotion to unleash incredible powers. The Mental archetype has one of the biggest ability pools of all archetypes, and the archetype feature, Mental Recharge, helps them regain willpower at a much faster rate than anybody else, turning them into consistent caster type characters. Most of their sub-archetypes specialize in one ability type and represents the baseline version of it, like the Evoker with damage abilities, the Healer with healing abilities, or the Summoner with summon abilities. It does have, however, a few sub-archetypes that focus on specific ability aspects instead of types, like the Maniac with full upcasting, or the Sorcerer with ability combos. The Nature archetype is for those who are tuned to nature, its beasts, and the elements themselves, and those who let their instincts guide them through this world. Their feature, Master of Nature, allows them to ignore difficult terrain and climb and swim as fast as they can run. In addition, they gain one lesser talent, which enforces the theme of their connection to the world. Its sub-archetypes can fill many different roles. It includes those that harness the power of the world itself, like the Druid or the Hermit. It's a companionship with animals, like the Beastmaster and the Shepherd, or embrace the animalistic instincts, like the Predator or the Shifter. Reality is the wackiest of all the archetypes. It represents people that can manipulate the foundation of reality itself, beat the space-time continuum or even breaking the fourth wall itself. It has one of the most powerful archetype features, Reality Warper, which allows you to force the results of specific dice, but in exchange has some of the lowest amount of proficiencies and skill points. It mainly contains sub-archetypes which can manipulate the time-space continuum, like the Displacer and the Time Twister, sub-archetypes that can mess with the fourth wall, like the Co-Narrator and the Cartoon, and sub-archetypes that focus on wacky mechanics, like the Anomaly or the Protagonist. The technology archetype is driven by innovation and strives to push technology and magic beyond its current limits. Its main feature, Technology Crafter, allows you to build and upgrade items to higher tiers than usual and grants you 2 free upgrades to start with. Its sub-archetypes either focus on crafting, like the Artisan, the Alchemist, or the Supplier, or focus on artificial companions, like the Roboticist, the Pilot, and the Supporter. The Unarmed archetype trains their body, soul and spirit to turn them into lethal weapons. They're dangerous with or without armaments. Their main feature, the Unarmed fighting styles, increases the damage of their unarmed attacks, allows them to wield weapons with unconventional stats, and grants them one of the weapon-related lesser talents. Their sub-archetypes represents many different styles of fighting. Some focus more on their physical body, like the wrestler, the martial artist, or the acrobat, and others hone their souls and spirits, like the sage, the guru, or the psionic. The war archetype is forged in conflict, and they are masters of martial combat. Nobody wields weapons better than they do. The Ready for War feature boosts their weapon damage or hit chance, and grants 1 additional lesser talent so that they may wield any weapons in any combination that they want. Their sub-archetypes unleash their battle prowess in different ways. The rusher storms into combat without fear. The trooper takes advantage of cover while shooting at the enemy. The leader helps their allies unleash their full fighting potential, and the champion wields abilities and weapons in tandem for devastating effects. Ishanekon World Shapers is a free tabletop RPG which you can find on the official website.